It began oddly, but could it have begun otherwise, however it began? It has been said, of course, that everything under the sun begins oddly and ends oddly and is odd. A perfect rose is odd, so is an imperfect rose, so is the rose of ordinary rosy good looks growing in your neighbor's garden. I know about the perspective from which all that exists appears awesome and mysterious. Reflect upon eternity, consider, if you are up to it, oblivion, and everything becomes a wonder. Still, I would submit to you in all humility that some things are more wondrous than others, and that I am one such thing. It began oddly, a mild, sporadic tingling in the groin. During that first week, I would retire several times a day to the men's room adjacent to my office in the Humanities Building to take down my trousers, but upon examining myself, I saw nothing out of the ordinary, assiduous as was my search. I decided half-heartedly to ignore it. I had been so devout a hypochondriac all my life, so alert to every change in body temperature and systematic regularity, that the reasonable man I also was had long found it impossible to take seriously all my telltale symptoms. Despite the grim premonitions of extinction or paralysis or unendurable pain that accompanied each new ache or fever, I was, at 38, a man of stamina and appetite, 6 feet tall, with good posture and a trim physique, most of my hair and all of my teeth, and no history of major illness. Though I might rush to identify this tingling in my groin with some neurological disease on the order of shingles, if not worse, I simultaneously understood that it was undoubtedly, as always, nothing. I was wrong. It was something. Another week passed before I discerned a barely perceptible pinkening of the skin beneath the pubic hair, a blemish so faint, however, that I finally instructed myself to stop looking. It was no more than a minor irritation, and certainly nothing to worry about. After another week, making, for the record, an incubation period of 21 days, I glanced down one evening while stepping into the shower, and discovered that through the hectic day of teaching and conferences and commuting and dining out, the flesh at the base of my penis had turned a shade of pale red. Dye, I instantly decided, from my undershorts. That the undershorts at my feet were light blue meant nothing in that panic-stricken burst of disbelief. I looked stained, as though something, a berry of some sort, had been crushed against my pubis, and the juices had run down onto my member, raggedly coloring the root.